Hello, everyone. As you probably have heard, due to the postponement of our state FFA convention this year, we're planning to hold a virtual state nominating committee and election process for the first time in the history of our state. We're very thankful that with the use of technology through LSU and the LSU Ag Center that we have the ability to carry on with our state officer programs and to conduct our elections. That way we can get our new state officer team in place on time so that they can start with their summer training programs and start delivering programs for our teachers, advisors, and stakeholders immediately. Using this virtual election process is going to take a little bit of practice on the part of our state officers and staff and chapters. So we wanted to give you a quick tutorial on how the virtual election process is going to work. The most important thing for you right now is to know that all information on the virtual election process can be found on our website. There is a specific page that has been created called State Officer Elections. The way that you can access this page is by going to our state website at www.laffa.org. You'll click on Association on the top bar. On the Association tab, you'll scroll down and click on Conferences and Events, find the State Convention and Expo page, and then on the Convention and Expo page, you'll see a new link that says State Officer Elections. When you click on that button, it'll take you to the new web page that is specific for the election process and will have all the information that you'll need to know. The way that the election process is going to work is that on May 1st, all of the advisors statewide will receive a registration link. This registration link will allow advisors to register for 2 delegates for the virtual election process. You don't need to provide the names of your delegates. You're simply going to put your chapter name, your advisor name, and your advisor email address. That registration is going to close on May 22nd. And a few days later on May 25th, you're going to get an email from WeCat Graphics. Tyler and Lori WeCat are the folks out of Texas who have built our state FFA website for us, and they manage our state convention app. They have the ability to manage this virtual election process for us. So advisors who register their chapters by the May 22nd deadline will receive an email from WeCat Graphics. That email is going to contain 2 unique 6-digit voting codes that your members will use for the voting process. As the advisor, it will be up to you to get those 6-digit voting codes to your 2 delegates for the election process. So again, you'll register by May 22nd. You'll get an email from WeCat Graphics with your 6-digit voting codes, and each advisor will then share those voting codes with their voting delegates. We're going to host a statewide practice voting session during the week of May 25th. As this gets closer, we will link the actual voting page on this state officer elections page that I previously showed you. And during the week of the 25th, we'll have a mock election set up where we'll have a fake list of candidates, and your students will have the opportunity to go onto that page, get a feel for the page, see how it works, and practice voting with those 6-digit voting codes. The virtual process is going to change, obviously, how our elections look in the sense of they're not going to be live on a stage. We've required all of our state officer candidates to email the state staff their campaign videos by May 25th. There's video requirements for these campaign speeches that would be in line with what candidates would be able to do at a live convention on stage. So if you have state officer candidates who have gone through the orientation workshop, their campaign videos, they must be in official dress. They have to be against a solid wall, so no artwork behind them. They need to not be no trees or anything behind them that would distract in the video. It needs to be either a solid painted wall, a brick wall, something solid that's not distracting. The candidates cannot have any music, any props, no other people assisting them, no animals, no outside assistance of any kind. It should just simply be the candidate in front of the camera delivering their campaign speech. The camera should be held in the horizontal position also to maximize the appearance of the video. The speeches have to be no more than exactly 60 seconds from the time the candidate says their first word to the end of the speech. Now, that doesn't mean till they say their last word. It means that the 60-second countdown starts from the first word spoken, and it will be cut off at 60 seconds. The candidates must also follow the same procedure to submit a 30-second runoff speech in the event that a runoff would take place. Because they're going to be submitting these speeches before the state nominating committee report is announced, they should not mention a specific office in their speech. They should just sell themselves, talk about why they deserve to be a state officer, whatever their catchphrase is going to be for this year, and then wrap it up. State staff will review all of these speeches to make sure that they're in compliance with the video requirements. If something is out of compliance, we will respond back to the candidate and their advisors by May 27th. If they need to make corrections, we'll allow them one chance to make corrections. They'll be due back to us on May 30th. After that point, there won't be any other corrections because videos are going to be posted onto the website for the voting process. We are still planning to hold state nominating committee as scheduled on May 30th through 31st, except it will be done via the Zoom platform and not live and in person. Candidates and the committee will have opportunity to practice using the Zoom platform later in May at designated times to make sure that we get technology checked, to make sure that the candidates and committee are comfortable with the technology platform before we actually conduct the NOMCOM process. The election process will start on Monday, June 1st. Our convention was originally scheduled for Monday, June 1st through Thursday, June 4th. We're going to hold to that same schedule for the election process. The committee will wrap up interviews on Sunday, May 31st. Later in the day, on Monday, June 1st, the state NOMCOM will gather again for their final deliberations and to put together their committee report. That NOMCOM report is going to be read on our Louisiana FFA YouTube page live, and we're going to stream it on the state FFA website at 6 p.m. on June 1st. So anyone who has access to our website will be able to tune in at 6 p.m. on June 1st. We'll have a big banner on the homepage telling you exactly where to go to see the announcement. So at 6 p.m. on June 1st, we'll read the NOMCOM report live. Candidates will then be given a set amount of time to email the state president, the state secretary, and myself if they intend on running off of the floor. Just as always, any candidate running off of the floor for state office must have gone through the nominating committee process. We'll get those candidate lists put together for the next day, and then at 6 p.m. on June 2nd, on our state FFA website, on that state officer election page that I showed you, we'll have our first primary election. So the first slate of candidates for each office will be available. Students will go to that website using those 6-digit voting codes. The campaign videos will be posted on that site, and then the delegates will make their selections for each state officer position. If any runoff elections are necessary, we're going to hold those the following evening on Wednesday, June 3rd at 6 p.m., following the same process as the night before. It'll all be on our website. And then once we get our slate of 10 officers elected, we're going to do the announcement of officers on YouTube Live again and streamed on our website at 6 p.m. on Thursday, June 4th. So again, these elections will all be conducted on our website. All that you and your delegates have to do is go to laffa.org and find the state officer election page, which again, we will have plenty of red banners on the home page of the website, so you'll know exactly where to go. Each advisor, again, is going to get those 2 unique 6-digit voting codes, which you'll then share with your delegates before the election process starts. They will use those voting codes to get onto the website during the voting times. The interface should show a drop-down menu, so we will have all 10 of our state offices listed with each candidate for each office listed below, and a drop-down where the delegates will select which candidate they intend to vote for. Each candidate's campaign speech will also be posted next to their name. We're also going to post a picture of each candidate so that you'll know who you're voting for. The delegates are going to select their choices, and they're going to submit them all at once on a digital ballot on our website. We know that this is a brand new process. Again, we're very thankful for the ability to use technology to keep our program going and to keep it on time to deliver some sort of sense of normalcy for our FFA members and to get our new team of state officers elected. If any of you have questions during this process, please feel free to contact me at my email address. We'd be more than happy to help you out. And also, please be on the lookout for information that'll be released over the coming weeks as we get closer to the election process.